And I think we are live. So, welcome,
Hi,
Dmytro.
Slevan.
Hey, how's it going?
It's good. It's good.
First off, I wanted to ask you, you have an interesting name. I'm not sure if I am pronouncing it correctly. It is Dmytro Krasun,
Dmytro,
or
yes,
is it
yes.
something?
It's
Dmytro,
like
okay.
it's a Slavic name. Yes, it's like Dmitry in
Hmm.
Russian, but Dmytro is a Ukrainian version of the this Russian name, or I don't know which comes first. Yes, it's a Greek name. Yes, so it's just Dmytro. But people
Hmm.
call me Dima. You can call me Dima, so I
Dimo.
don't care, or
Dima or
whatever you
Dima?
want. Yes,
Whichever you prefer. I don't want to call you something that you don't want to be called.
Dima is okay.
Dima,
Dima
okay.
is good.
Okay, okay. Yeah, we have that basically a similar name in Bulgarian. It is Dimitar. Uh,
Yes, yes.
so, yeah. Okay. First off, thank you, Dima, for joining in the call with me, for spending the time. I know we have a very busy schedule, so much appreciated that you would spend the time talking about your projects, or your journey so far with entrepreneurship, engineering. So do you mind sharing some introduction or your thoughts about yourself and what you're doing, where you're heading?
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me. And it's all people often ask this question, and every month I have a different answer about what I'm doing. And now I can say that I'm building a business, and I try to get to 10k MRR of United States green dollars. And so how I'm doing this? I'm just building a product. I am capitalizing on my experience. I was a software engineer. I was building APIs all my career, and then I quit my job. I tried to build some different stuff. It didn't work for me well. I returned back to my roots, let's say, yes, and started to build API projects. And the first product I built, it was a screenshot API, pretty simple tool, and it worked well for me. I was lucky. I was lucky, and since then, in it, at the end of this month, May, it will be 2 years since I have been building it and growing the product. Yes, and currently I'm focused fully on it, on my way to uh, like I'm 70. I think I am at 70% of my goal. Yes, of 10k MRR, and on this way I also build many small projects. I even sold one project, some tools, a lot of stuff. Like I'm also started to run a newsletter, writing on Twitter, and so on and so on. Yes, so that's basically that's what I do now full time, and happy to talk about that, about you, about entrepreneurship.
Yeah, that is
And
the amount of stuff that you shared that you're currently doing is not a small one. So you're doing a lot of stuff. So congratulations first. It is you're managing a lot of stuff, and it seems to be that you're managing it very successfully. So props to you. One day I would love to be at your level and that side. But do you mind that we basically go a little back and talk about how your entrepreneurship journey began? I read your blog post about you working at a previous company and leaving. Would you mind sharing a little bit about this as well?
yes, it's a good question. How did my entrepreneurial journey begin? It's because the more the more I live, the more I realize that my journey began probably at my childhood, not at the time, not at the time when I quit my job, because all my life I have this kind of entrepreneurial tensions. Like in every project, if I look retrospectively, in every project I worked, I was always interested, in more stuff than I was doing. Like I was writing code, okay, I was writing code, but I was always interested in the stuff around me, like how product managers work, how do they, I don't know, derive requirements from customers, how customer support works, how business works, how it makes money. Not because I don't know. It was it was generic curiosity, and
So you were a generalist not only as a programmer but as a person as well.
no, I think I was It's a good question. I think I was a specialist. Like I was deeply. I really loved backend. I was deeply in the APIs. Like very specific kind of tasks that I love to perform. Yes, but at the, let's say, at my mental state, at my mental models, yes, I was curious about, I'm writing this code, yes, and then I realized that this code connected to the business problems I try to automate and try to help, let's say, to my colleagues to automate these business problems and to the business itself. And I saw that, there is a convey like theory or hypothesis about that organizations repeat, the architecture of software organizations are building, repeat organization structures.
Okay.
It's a bit complicated, but so
yeah, I know Conway's Game of Life.
yes, it's the same person. Yes.
yes. I'm not aware of that statement, but I think it would take me a long time to unwrap that. So
let's say shortly that I wanted to write really great code. I wanted to be a great developer. I wanted to be the best software engineer and so on. Yes, but then I realized that it's like when it doesn't matter how good I am at coding and so on. I need to go a few levels above my area, yes, to understand how to interact with the business and how to write better code. So it's like it was one of the problems, and I think it's also deeply rooted in my childhood and so on. If you're curious, we can talk about that. But about this job that I left, it was like I wrote about it in the newsletter issue that I quit my job and like I had. Everything was great, like great salary, great people, great. There was no problem in the job itself. I felt that the problem is not it wasn't in the job, yes, and that's
you just felt that you needed to do something different. I totally understand that because I felt the same.
Yes, there is. This kind of people who just feels that they need to do something differently. I don't know why. And some days I think, wow, Damon, I would love to work in a simple job with a good salary, with good people. And I didn't have I was lucky enough to have good jobs, But this internal desire, always to try something on my own, to build something, it was really hard to. I needed either to give up on this idea, and okay, I am all in on, to be the best software engineer in the world and so on. I'm writing code and I'm helping businesses, or I needed to try to give it a try, to give it a try and to decide, okay. Maybe I will fail. Maybe if I failed, it would be easy because I know that I am tried. I have tried. I failed. Okay, let's go again back to the job to find a new job and to keep working. And I will feel content, inside. But if I succeed, for example, or if I succeeded. It also would be nice because okay, it works and now I'm happy. So it was no question, to give it a try. Like anyway, I will succeed at the meta level if I fail or if I succeed. It's a bit complicated.
Yeah, I think I understood. It's just something that you needed to do because otherwise you would feel like you've wasted an opportunity or something like that.
Yes.
I don't want to put words in your mouth. It's basically basically the thing that I felt when I began my entrepreneurial journey. So please correct me if I'm wrong or putting any words in your mouth.
It's no, it's okay. What you say is also a factor that played some role in this. For example, I had a runaway. There was a second child was born, so. And I thought, okay, my wife was studying hard and preparing for her exams and so on. And I saw it also as an opportunity to be with my kid, with my new kid, second kid. and to help my wife to prepare for exams, to bootstrap my business. I thought it was a good moment, a good opportunity, yes, but it wasn't the main reason, let's say, yes. The main reason was that I felt that no matter how good the job is, no matter how, like everything, I wanted to write Go, yes. Okay, I found a job where I can write Go. I wanted to have like experience in some hard industry. Let's say, I don't know, some electronics with a lot of data and so on. No problem. Like every good salary, everything was perfect. Yes, like nothing I could complain about, and yet I still felt that something is wrong. You know, something is wrong. And then I realized it's not the problem with the job. It wasn't the problem with the job. I'm lying now, you know, because it's. I didn't realize it at that moment. I just felt that it's something is wrong, and I need to quit, to give it a try to build my product. Yes, but then after maybe 2 years, only recently I understand it was because understood it was because it's like I had all this. People call it itch, urge. I don't know, like many terms for that. Yes, but I felt that I need to you know. Okay, you will edit the podcast, yes, so I can.
Yeah, no worries, no worries.
So I can stop and think if it's.
Yeah, please do, please do.
Yes.
We're not in a rush. We're just talking. It's fine.
Thank you, thank you. So I felt that I needed to stop the struggle, this tortures, this kind of a lot of questions, and just to give it a try, and that's it. Yes. And so since I left my job for 2 years, I have been trying till today.
Yeah, that sounds great. That sounds like you are pursuing your inner goals, which is basically, I think, like from what I've read, a lot of people do it for freedom, for financial gain, for status. But I think like the people who actually succeed are the ones who do it for the inner reason, because they needed to do something like this. And to me, it sounds like you are one of those people. So it is fantastic for me to see this.
Thank you. You know, it's interesting because I think that freedom, money, and status are great things. You know, maybe some of them are tools. For example, status can be a tool for money, or money can be, I don't know. It's like it's another complex conversation, interesting conversation. Yes, but yes, I also want freedom. I also want money, all this stuff. Yes. But I think I felt pretty, not 100% free, yes, but I didn't feel that I'm super limited in my job, or I had enough money, more money than I could spend, yes. And about status, it's a great question, also, you know.
Yeah, but that was a pretty good like overview. It was very concise. I liked it. So do you mind me asking, you said that you basically got lucky with the first project that you started working on. How did that actually play out? Do you mind sharing something along those lines?
Yes, it's
how did you get the idea? How did you decide that that's the one that I'm going to spend my effort on? Because, for instance, that's something that I am struggling currently with, basically trying to find out the thing that I should spend my time on. So that would be very interesting for me to hear.
Okay. I can share my experience. I'm not sure I can give advice on this. Yes, it's a bit complicated topic, but I can share my experience. Actually, it wasn't my first project. Let's say it was the first project that I, with the payment link, yes, and that was related to my experience as a software engineer, yes. But when I quit my job, I tried to build. I joined Twitter. I found many indie hackers, many entrepreneurs, and so on. I started to follow people, engage with them, talk to them, yes. And I decided, okay, I will build a tool that will help me to grow on Twitter. Yes, so some Twitter analytics tool, some Twitter engagement tool, or something like that. Yes, And then I started to build it, and then I saw that I have a huge problem since I don't know how to design stuff, I don't know how to write front end well. It was really hard for me to make great UI, and it was a pretty competitive niche when Twitter API was free 2 years ago. Many people did it, and I felt that UI and design was you needed to make this you needed to make an attractive tool for people to at least use it. Yes, so it was, and then I decided, okay, I didn't feel that it resonates with me also. Yeah, so I decided, okay, I will try something differently, and I had some kind of note on my notes application. Yes, and I had a lot of ideas from my experience, random idea that came to me, something that I noticed, something that I saw, and so on. And I saw that there is a lot of ideas around APIs. I had, like, it's probably because I have been working in this area for a lot of time. Yes, also with microservices and so on. So, for example, I had an idea, to auto-generate SDKs for for API products, or an auto-generate documentation, or validate emails, or a lot of ideas. Yes, so I just picked one of them. Almost, it was, I can say it was almost random. There, nothing. I didn't analyze anything, like the market size, anything, like, yes. But then when I picked, for example, Screenshot API, yes, this one, I went to Google, checked it, and I saw, oh, okay, there is a lot of competitors, maybe 20, maybe 30.
Yeah, that is a big pain. Like, that is the most painful thing, to basically start building something and see somebody else already built it.
Yeah, somebody else, a lot of great products. And I was, okay, but then I check another ideas, and everything, every single idea I find, like, everybody has built it. Yes, so what can I do? Invent something new, yes, just for the sake of being new, or I can keep building and see what happens. Yes, I decided to do a strange thing. That thing I don't regret. I really like it. Yes, I regret another thing, that I didn't choose. I think a larger market with more customers, with more money and so on. Yes, but I chose this one, like Screenshot API. And simply, I started building it, like, with all ideas that I had. I started to write articles about it. I started to do SEO before I launched the product, and it was around 6 months, I think. It was May 2022 when I felt that I started in January 2022, but in May 2022 I felt, okay, it's probably enough, because I can keep building it forever. I need to launch something. And I launched it on Twitter, yes. And no customers, of course. Nobody cared about this. I decided, okay, I will try everything I can, like every marketing technique I knew about, yes, and see what happens. Like, and I will see what happens, and then I decide what to do, yes. So I went to Indie Hackers, wrote a post. I went to Reddit. I went to posted articles on my blog for Google, all these directories of tools, and so on.
Getting the juicy backlinks.
Yes, I got some backlinks, and so I tried everything. As Twitter, like, people probably started to think of me like as a screenshot seller or something like this. I don't know, screenshot man. So it was months of marketing, full months of marketing, and I was super tired. Like, I didn't sleep well, and so on. Yes, and in the second month, I had a first sale, actually from my Twitter friend. It was a cool guy. I still remember him. It was Janis, and he started to build a directory of tools for creators. And he needed to automate screenshots. And he saw that I was promoting my product, and he subscribed to me. So it was like a nice, gentle act of support. I treated it this way, yes. And he was my first customer, and I was like, I was crazy. It was $7, you know. It was $7. I was wow. I had an idea in mind. Like I need to get at least one customer in the first 3 years of my journey. Let's say yes, or something like that. I don't
Wow.
remember exact number. Yes, I thought that even getting one customer was hard. You know,
That is
and
extremely interesting that you're so ready to basically forego the short-term goals for something long-term as like 3 years, because like from what I'm seeing, a lot of the like the current approach that I'm seeing in the indie hacker or like solo entrepreneur space is build something as fast as you can. Like this is Mark Lew's or Peter Level's
yes, yes,
strategy.
yes.
They basically build something as fast as they can, and then if it doesn't perform on some metric that they wanted to, they just trash it, go next. But you are willing to basically invest yourself for years to come in something that you're not entirely sure if it's going to work. So that is wild to me. Like I would love to, like I'm getting some tingles. Like my hair is standing on my hand. Like
No, it's it just might be because I'm dumb, you know, because like I understand the Peter Level strategy, I understand Mark's strategy. Uh, I was following Mark when he had 300 followers and like seeing all his journey, yes, and from building, you know, by the way, he was also building Habits Garden project.
mhm.
I don't
Yeah,
remember for how long, maybe 2 years, or he was super focused on that
yeah,
project.
yeah.
But it didn't work out for him. So he started to ship new projects, and then he found the one that worked well for him, and then he doubled down. Uh, it's interesting because in my case, um, I don't know. It was maybe an intuition. Yes, like, or I can say it's a trap. Let's say because I got the first customer, yes, and then I think, okay, now I want to try to get to the 10 customers, yes, and how can I do that? Okay, so the first customer came from Twitter. Let's try to promote my product on Twitter, to write about that, to share MRR numbers to attract attention. Yes, it was let's say in the begin, like it was a mix of intention plus bragging plus being happy. Like it was a mix of all stuff, you know. It was also for marketing, also for attracting attention, and also because I was happy to share all my journey. Yes, so I can say fast forward today that I track my product analytics, and building public posts and MRR posts don't bring me paying customers. Maybe one customer per month or something like that.
Mhm.
But it doesn't make sense for now to use it as a strategy. So what I wanted to say that uh, I had this goal of 10 customers. Then I got to 10 customers. Then I think, okay, how can I get to 100 customers? Yes, and then I got to 100 customers. And now my goal is 300 customers. I'm currently at 180, something like that. Yes, I think it's it's a little bit of a trap if you think, because
I also saw your blog post about reaching 5.5K MRR. So congratulations. That is a
thank you.
humongous like goal post. Like looking from where I'm sitting at, it is basically as far from me as the moon is. So congratulations. I'm happy to see your success.
Thank you. It's no, it's if you if you told me that 2 years ago that one day I would have 5K MRR, I wouldn't believe it. It was impossible to believe. You know, it's because how can I get, like, think about that right now, like 100 and almost 80 customers for, let's say, simple screenshot API. It's probably because it's not simple. I thought it was simple, yes, but then I realized, okay, there is this corner case, that corner case, and that corner case, and people who know,
Okay.
people who have this problem, they can pay for it because they can relate to it. Yes, like that's, for example, why Twitter is not a good place for me now to get customers, because developers and indie hackers, they're not my customer. They are my customers. Yes, I have customers.
They're the
Like,
community, but they're not the target
yes,
audience.
like people use my product. I'm very happy for it, because indie hackers give you. It's kind of a sandbox, you know. It's kind of a sandbox
The
to start your
community.
project, but then you need to grow out of it. Yes, and but indie hackers build new projects every month. Yes, so they will churn from your product. And many indies and many developers, they think it's a simple problem. They can use just Puppeteer, and it's okay. It's almost always true for project when you start and you need only 10 screenshots. I don't know, 100 screenshots and so on. But when you need, like a complex solution and so on, you can find yourself in a situation that people come to you and pay for this tool because they see, they're just hiring me as a developer for this microservice for $20 per month. It's crazy if you think. Like, I do all this dirty job, all this boring job for $20, around $20. Yes, like it's actually it's $33 per month on average per customer. Yes, so it's.
But if enough people get going, it is a lot more than that. So hopefully it goes there. You also mentioned that like indie hackers are not that great of customers because they churn a lot. I also wanted to ask you, like you said that initially your first customer was from Twitter. How has this changed during the years? Is SEO playing a larger role in this, or word of mouth marketing? How have you been able to track your customers or where they're coming from?
Yes, in the beginning it was like when it was still, I think maybe 50, maybe 70 customers. I don't remember the precise number. Yes. But I remember that I was like knowing every customer because I knew their emails, I knew some of them I saw on Twitter, yes, some of them I asked in the support chat, yes. And it was I felt that I failed because I didn't have precise numbers, yes. So I saw that I have customers from Twitter, and because people knew I'm building this stuff and they came and they paid for it, yes, and so on. But actually I also used Google Ads, so I had customer for Google Ads. I also wrote a lot of posts on Google. I also made a product hunt launch, and I got a few customers from it. Yes, I also got customers from Reddit. Somebody found my post on Reddit and subscribed to my product, and it was like in the beginning it was Twitter. I think maybe first, let's say 5 customers maybe, yes, were from Twitter because they knew me, yes, and so on. But then when I started to try different channels, I started to get customers from there, yes. And then I saw that people came from me from Google, people like, and like let's say, I had some companies that subscribed to me and they found me on Google, and I realized, okay, so I'm living in my Twitter bubble with, I'm playing all this stuff in my sandbox, and having customers who pay me $7 a month, yes, but I can optimize and I can double down on SEO, yes, I can promote my product and I can write about it and so on and so on. And I can get customers who pay me $100 per month, $200 per month, and so on. Yes.
You also shared that you got a unicorn customer, so congratulations on that as well.
Yeah, thank you. It's actually, I think I will try to get from them maybe testimonials. Maybe I still don't know how to act on this kind of stuff. Like, because I asked one company, and they said me, no, please don't share our logo, yes, because it's sensible information, something like that. But some companies don't care, like some companies. But for me, it would be really great marketing if I could just put their logos on my landing page. I will call it a day. It's like it's done, But they're not users. It's ironically. They are not users who are paying me, let's say, a lot of money. These companies, they have it's not of their core product, it's like about some use cases, and they pay me something like $20 maybe, I don't know, something like that. It's not a lot. So they're big, but I have different customers in different areas who pay me much more than this kind of customers. So while it's impressive, I can brag about it maybe, yes, but on the other side, what really matters is how much money people pay you and if they value your product and if And if you feel and if you know that they will stay with you, like, and you help them to grow their business. So, for example, I have another customer who there may be, I'm not sure, maybe they're not a unicorn company. I don't know how much money they make, let's say. Yes, it's not public. Yes, and but they pay me a lot of money. And because it's valuable for them, and they see the value, and they help me, I help them, so on. So it's probably it's really cool to brag about that, but what really matters, like, real numbers. So yes, currently 2 months ago I started to track different marketing channels. It's you see how stupid I am, because if like now it's obvious for me that if you don't track your marketing channels, if you have more than one, yes, for example, if you use only Twitter, probably you don't need to track that, because you only promote your product on Twitter, and all people came from Twitter, so okay. But if you have, for example, like me, let's say 3-5 different channels from where people come to you, you really don't know like what works and what doesn't. And if you don't know, how do you know what are you going to optimize for? Yes, if, for example, even in SEO, I know that Google works, yes, but what works precisely? Some people, like, I see a lot of advice on Twitter, write a lot of content, optimize for keywords, and so on, yes, but what really matters is not people share, this huge graphs with a lot of impressions, millions of impressions, I don't know. But what really matters is not number of impressions, but how many customers really convert, what content do you write them to convert, and how much they pay you, and if they are satisfied of your business. So that's what I realized 2 months ago, and I started to track that. And for example, in April, I saw only one customer from Twitter, for example, yes, compared to 30 to 37, 36 from different channels, yes, like Google and other channels. So it's very different now from what it was in the beginning. And but now
that is actually great that it is expanding as your product is expanding as well. So that is fantastic. That's great.
Yes, yeah, thank you. It's now I also see differently. If, like, in the beginning, I was thinking it's pretty cringe idea when you think about that for a moment. But I was thinking I will build an audience, and then I will try to monetize it. That was like, I don't know.
That is not that is not cringy. That is like the way that, I don't know if you're familiar with Danko or
yes, a little bit.
Yeah, basically the one of the philosophies that he stands behind is building the distribution around your products, because if you're a nobody, people don't really buy from you. And like, for example, if Peter Levels comes up with something like a product, how to make a business, like even if it's like how to write PHP, it's going to basically sell out immediately. Like he did sell out his merch a couple of days ago. And
yes.
It is not cringy, but it is interesting, like that I think that is the way that it sort of kind of works currently in the digital age, with a lot of influencer marketing and branding. So I wouldn't find that cringy at all.
Let's say it's an interesting topic to talk about. It's because for me it just didn't work for me, because I didn't know, like, having this goal in mind. I'm engaging with this person to have something from them in exchange. It was super difficult. I just don't have, like, in real life, I don't engage. Like, for example, now I'm talking to you, I just have fun. I don't have any kind of, goals. Yeah. Okay, I know Slavan now, he's building that, I will keep him in my network, and then I will try to ask him for something. Maybe I will sell him some course on building, I don't know what. Yes, so it doesn't work for me that way. I know some people for whom it works, like they're like, it's kind of, I don't want to call this one important thing. Yes, I don't think it's bad or good. Yes, it depends on the person. Yes, what works for you and what works for me. For me, it just didn't work. So I just decided I decided to try to interact with people the way I interact with them in my real life, like just engaging out of curiosity.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
this guy is building, something cool. I would love to follow him. This girl is building. She is a marketer. She is promoting cool stuff. Okay, I want to engage with her. I am curious in your content. Also, now when it's 2 years has gone, yes, and now I see that this is the only strategy that worked for me well, because I was really curious in these people, and I'm still curious in them. After 2 years, I have still people who I also met offline, after Twitter, and talked with them in real life, and it was I didn't have any benefits for engaging with them. It was just pure fun.
Yeah,
But
I think that's why it worked. But sorry to
yes,
interrupt, but like that, it is working fantastically for you, because the first time I ever saw about you, like I saw about you, I saw your post multiple times, but the first time I ever saw your post was Ashley Rutland made a VPS little demo about how much you can do in a little Hetzner instance, and then you shared your configuration about your Kamal configuration of how you can run multiple services on a same VPS. And then I read down some of the comments and I saw like this guy is working on his own Kubernetes cluster with Kamal and VPS, and I'm like, this guy's crazy. Like, and he's running a business that makes 5K a month. Like, this is insane. I want to follow this guy.
thank
And
you.
like the
Thank
second
you.
time is with your project. Like, I don't know if you're familiar with Tim Wheeler, but
Yes.
yes, I read in his blog post that one of the bot roast, the product that he was making, he actually mentioned Screenshot One, that he used that API to make the screenshots. So I connected the dots and saw that you were the same person.
Oh. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
I really, by the way, I
So
really love
that's the
what Tim
thing.
does.
Yeah,
But
well, please go ahead.
no, I really love what Tim does because I think he has a talent on building like this landing page analysis tool. Yes, like almost everybody has built it. I also seen pretty good, implementations. Yes, but Tim also, when he builds something, he has some kind of different perspective on this stuff, and I really like that one. Yes, he was my customer, and he gave me a lot of good feedback. By the way, it's an example. That's what I love in the community. Like I see it now, as helping each other. So, like I don't see it like selling product to a team, but I see it as being a partner with team, like providing him my screenshot API for his product, and he can build on top of that. Yes, his business. And but yes, as you say, for example, is actually so. That's actually in some periods, maybe in the past, I was engaging, with big accounts, to be visible with, but I don't get feedback from people. They don't answer, they don't respond, they don't reply, and I feel, if it's not authentic for me, it just doesn't work for me for a long period of time. But I'm here to stay, for next 50 years, and I want to know people for next 50 years. I want to write every day for next 50 years. I need to find something that works, like something that I can keep doing. And if you try to analyze this kind of stuff, the most let's say fast forward in 2000 years, one thing that will always work connecting with people is just helping people. It's just like
just being a person, just talking to people and not wanting something from them. Like,
yes.
There is, I don't know if you follow Alex Ramosi as well, but he has this whole thing where he says, give until they ask. So I think you're doing the exact same thing.
It's pretty good one. It's an interesting question also, because sometimes you might need something. You might need, for example, you launch a product on Product Hunt, yes, and you post a tweet that you're launching on Product Hunt. Actually, you're asking people to support you, to help you, yes.
Exactly.
But it's better not to see it it's better for mental health to not see it like as asking, but because
Maybe sharing.
People are not obliged. People are not obligated to help you. Like you help them, it's okay. Yes, but if they don't want to help you back, it's okay also. It's like so.
That is
It's
like
like
the whole thing, making it like consensual, or like if somebody finds your product interesting or what you're doing interesting, they just subscribe, they support you, and in that they basically help you out with your product.
yes. Also yes. For example, yes. Like for example, now maybe you talked to me, yes, and you know me. Maybe you tried my product or something like that, yes. And then when somebody can ask you, or you see some tweet about, okay, do you know some API to render screenshots? You might mention my API,
I most
and I
definitely will, because yeah, at least from what I'm seeing, you have outstanding support. So
thank you, thank you.
yeah. By the
I
way, do you
will.
mind if we switch gears a little bit? Since I'm a very technical person, I wanted to ask you some technical questions about your product, because like
Yes, of
that's the
course.
way that I initially saw you. So in this thread about Kamal, or your Kubernetes cluster, you were stressing about an issue that you were having with over provisioning and resource usage. Is that something that you were able to work on? Or
Yes,
were
a
you
little
able
bit. Yes, a
to
little
get
bit.
this, to fix this? Or I'm very interested in the technical solution as well, if you would mind sharing.
Yes. It's a good question. It's a good question. I did it partially, but there is. Oh,
Yeah, I see by the look on your eyes, it's a very deep topic for you. So
yes. It became it became a little bit philosophical for me, because when I see like this problem, let's say that you. So I started building my project from like one single VPS on DigitalOcean, yes. Then I moved to Render, then I moved to Google Cloud, and then I saw my bill, like it was, I don't know, $3,000 or something like that, yes. I decided,
ouch, 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 ouch.
yes, it was, I decided I need somehow to optimize that, yes. And there is a lot of solutions how you can do it. There is a lot of solutions how you can do it. You can probably what you let's say what you want at the end of the day. What is your goal? You want, ideally, yes, perfect goal, yes. You want to pay only for resources that you use, and as cheap as possible, yes, and not overpay for over provisioning. Let's say what I mean by that you want to have flexibility like Google Cloud Run, AWS Lambda functions, and so on. But you want to pay like for Hetzner.
Yes, and you also want to have the features of Hetzner and not be limited by execution. So
Yes, and yes. So you won't have like, let's say, cheap serverless stuff. But the problem with that, okay, Google Cloud Run is good, but it's pretty expensive. Like I think it's 10, maybe 20 times expensive than running. If you run, for example, if you have, like now I have constant load. I have all, if like, there is no moment in time when my API is not working. Yeah, so, and for example, if you have some server in Hetzner, let's say 2 gigabytes of memory, one CPU, for example, yes, you're paying for it, I don't know, $3 or something like that.
very
I'm
cheap.
not, I don't remember exactly, but in Google you can pay something like $40 for something like that in Google Cloud Run, because of how functions are computed and all this stuff. Like when you need constantly to run your function, and when it always responds to some requests, yes. So the problem is, it's pretty expensive when you have constant load. And what I thought, okay, I will try to build a Kubernetes cluster, because Kubernetes have kind of, this, it has an auto-scaling capability. And it has...
You can see me smiling because, like, as a developer, I've always dreaded working with Kubernetes because it seems to be like this behemoth beast and
yes,
very complex stuff.
it's true.
So
It's true. It's indeed very complex. I made a lot of mistakes with it, and but how I decided to go with it? I decided, okay, I will try managed Kubernetes with DigitalOcean, because in DigitalOcean it's not so as cheap as Hetzner, yes, but in DigitalOcean at least the Kubernetes is managed. I don't need to set up all this stuff myself. I can get this cluster, and I can just let's say I have a config file, and maybe in 2-3 commands I can deploy my application, and it just works. So for me, actually it's not that simple how it seems, but I was thinking so. So it was interesting. So then I decided to move to Kubernetes cluster, and I built it. I started from switching like my traffic, let's say 10% of my traffic to it, and see what happens, how it works. Is it stable? Is it not stable? And then I started to solve a lot of problems, like you need health check, you need readiness checks, you need to check networks, you need to restart your deployments, you need auto scaling, you need to understand limits of your containers, like minimum CPU request, the minimal amount of CPU units you need, yes, the memory you need, logging, networking issues, for example, security issues. Wow, it's a whole universe in itself, So, but it's much cheaper. For me to run all my load on Kubernetes cluster than to have this Google Cloud stuff.
Yeah,
So
I don't
what
know
I
if
wanted
you've
to have
I
is
don't know
to
if you've
have.
watched the video of Fireship, but he shared that. Wait, what was it? It was running. Running software minus pain is AWS. AWS minus pain is Vercel. So it comes down to how much pain you want to endure to have like your software running. So
Yes, it's like Vercel is. I need something like Vercel, but for headless browsers,
yeah,
there.
I'm guessing the issue is because like the headless browser requires a lot more memory and a lot more time to do the stuff than like a Vercel instance can give you.
Yes. It's one of the problems. Yes, it's that like the API is pretty simple. It's just a processing function. I call Puppeteer. I block some banners. I have some heuristics to fix some CSS for sites. Like a lot of this kind of
Edge cases.
corner issue stuff. Yes, but the most problematic stuff is browsers, because browsers. It's really hard to predict. It depends on the website you're rendering. Yes, for example, you can have a website. A lot of websites consume more than, let's say, 200 megabytes of memory, and you can render, let's say, 5-10 websites, and if you try to render them in parallel, you see that your memory usage just for one instance can go from 200 to 2 gigabytes of memory, and that's a huge problem. So it's
the memes that people normally complain about, like Chrome using all of the memory, you're basically facing the same thing.
yes. It's. I'm not sure there is solution, to that. There is a good solution to that. So what I wanted to do, I wanted to have this Kubernetes cluster with auto scaling, and then when maybe in periods with lower load, I will have less servers. I will use less servers, and I will have I will pay less. Yes. But then there is another problem. Like in Google Cloud Run, when an API request comes to me, it almost immediately answers to it. It's like it's running an instance and answers to it. But in Kubernetes cluster, if I have a huge spike of load, I have a problem now, because okay, there is an auto scaling, yes, but you need some time when DigitalOcean provides you a new node and new VPS, you will put it in the Kubernetes cluster, it will start sending traffic to it, and so on, yes. So you anyway need to be over provisioned,
I see.
And now I see, like, from this perspective, maybe the much simpler solution would be for me, if I can get back in time. Yes, if I could get back in time, it could be using just big servers, let's say on Hetzner. I don't know, maybe 32 CPU units and 100 plus gigabyte of memory, and having, let's say, 5 of them, and just being over provisioned all the time and not caring about all this cluster stuff and so on. Yes, it
Hetzner have got some like crazy pricing. Like I did like a small research comparing performance to price in Hetzner and DigitalOcean. It was not even close. Like the €3 Hetzner instance was better than the $10 the €10 DigitalOcean one. So that was crazy.
Wow! You see. So it's probably much better for me if I can get back in the past to use, let's say, big huge instances in Hetzner. Yes, and just deploying a lot of my containers to it. Yeah, then building all this Kubernetes cluster, having all this I spent a lot of time on it, a lot of time. And
But it's
now,
working, and you have like 2 nines of SLA. Two nines of uptime to 9985 was it? If I checked the last time, so that is like
thank you.
that is
It's a-
crazy. That's
Thank you,
great.
thank you. It's it's a bit problematic, yes, but what I actually do, my health check is not just pinging API, because pinging API is just 100. Okay, it's a good metric, but I don't like it because nobody trusts you if you have like 100% uptime. So I need to shut down my servers once in a while. I'm just joking. So what I do actually render screenshots, in my health check. So what you see is like real uptime. It's really rendering screenshots. It's not just some API ping that my servers are up. Yes, it's rendering screenshot, and it really helps me a lot. I want to add more health checks about it. But what I wanted to say that, so I have this Kubernetes cluster. It's working now, and I plan to improve it and I want to have like more performance on per dollar I spent. Yes, and but there is a problem that since I'm a solo founder now, at least, yes, I have also a lot of tasks in marketing, SEO, promoting the product, issues for support. I have, like, for example, for today, I have 4 tasks I need to solve for support, like new features to build, new features to issues, and so on. And it's just, I just don't have time for it, to...
I see. By the way, before we started talking, you said that you had like, let's say, up to an hour. We're currently over that. Are you?
Okay.
We can. I'd love to continue talking. Are you okay with that?
Let's try maybe 1 second. Let's try 15 minutes. I think it's okay.
Yeah, sure.
For you.
Yeah. Okay. Let's do.
So it's.
But you said, like, in the Twitter, like, in regards to over provisioning, you said that if you were able to get your costs, like, get 1,100, like 1,500 euros of profit, you would be able to then hire a developer that would work on this. Is that something that you're still considering?
Yes, I was thinking about that. It's actually, yeah. I'm contemplating this. Like, I don't want to hire somebody and then I see, like, my MRR dropping down and then I can't just pay people. I think it feels awkward. Yes, But I feel that I have kind of bottleneck now because I have so much stuff going on, and I see if I could only have somebody who could help me with X or Y, I can probably go much faster. Yeah, so it can be that it can pay off. Yes.
Have you considered venture capital? Because, like, I'm seeing that you're bootstrapping it, which is something that I would personally like to do. I'm currently kind of scared of VCs, but is this something that you have thought of, maybe trying to raise some funding? Because, like, I think, like, the valuation that you could get for this product is not a small one. Like, from what I've seen, normally the way that companies are evaluated is in the month of December, since, like, you get your sales, you get the month in which you get the most sales, and then you multiply that by 20 or 23, 25, or depending on how, like, the company or some internal metrics. And like, at this, your current startup would be valuated like $100,000, which is a lot, and you could maybe raise some capital to basically get the ball rolling. Is that something that you've thought of? But, like, the minus of that is that you then have to have a person in your company telling you what to do. But
it's a good question, actually. It's first of all, I'm not sure that for this project, funding is a good thing. I talked to some investors. I talked to some people who wanted to buy it. Also, I think your evaluation it's pretty close to what I have seen and what people ask me for. Yeah, so but my current goal is 10K MRR. Yes, and what I try to do is to be fully focused on it, and not changing, like, everything on the road. Maybe it's a mistake. I don't know. Maybe it's a mistake. So don't take it seriously.
You seem to be doing perfectly fine. Like, the graphs that you showed about MRR are steadily climbing. So please continue.
Thank you. But that's my focus. And then I think, okay, now I will hire somebody and I will do. So it can take my time. All this funding can take my time. I see all these opportunities as a tools or as some of them can be goals. For example, I would love at some point to work with people, because I miss that. I miss working with smart people, building something with them. It's really one thing that I would love to somehow to get back to it, yes. And it can be a goal, it can be a goal to have people, to have partners, co-founders, so on, yeah. So, and for the founding, in the current project, I'm not sure. I also want to be. I want to see how far I can go alone. It's kind of a challenge for me. It's not that that money is super important, and I'm optimizing for money, yes. But I also want to see if I can get to this 10K MRR solo, and if I can do that, yes. And then who knows? Maybe I will build a second product. Maybe I can expand in there is a lot of niches, in this kind of stuff,
Yeah. That actually builds into the question that I wanted to ask you. Like, we talked about your past, we talked about your present. Do you mind sharing what your plans for, or what your hopes, your goals, your ambitions are for the future? 10K MRR, not MMR, is something that I fully believe that you would be able to, like, based on your previous successes, is something that is totally possible, even more than that. And I wish it with my whole heart. Wish it to you with my whole heart. So please continue with that. But would you mind sharing what your aspirations are for the future?
Oh, thank you. That's a good question. I have this question as open for myself, till that goal. I think that everything is possible. For example, I can see myself building, let's say, a company, hiring people, get funding, and so on. Or I can see myself learning guitar lessons and spending time in India or in Nepal in some trekking in mountains, meditating and so on. So it's like, or I can see myself like just hiking every day and not building any new product or building, I don't know, rocket spaceship company, something like that. I try to have this kind of milestone open, and to see, to get to this 10K, to get to this moment, to see, okay, that was my goal, I dreamed of it, and so on, to enjoy it a little bit, maybe for months or so, yes. And then think about what I want to do next. And maybe the next thing can be, okay, now I want to get to 20K MRR or to 100K MRR, yes. Or I want to build more product, or I want to build some open source platform. Let's say, for example, now I see that, okay, so I have validated this idea of having APIs for developers, and it's a screenshot API. Maybe I can build, a new API and see if I can, I can somehow generalize and build a platform for building APIs, and then have, something bigger than just one API. Or I can build the products in this kind of headless browsers niche. Like you have, I have customers who just came to me and asked for, for generating PDFs or like mining structured data from the websites. Like you give a pricing page and I give you pricing plans. It's a lot of opportunities, a lot of possibilities, and sorry for the long cast. For a long story short,
yeah, no worry. It is very inspiring. Like I love hearing this. Like I love the breadth of possibilities that you've set up for yourself. Like building a company, starting a business, like making a rocket company. Like basically the Elon Musk mentality. I would wish that you would. Yeah, I have the same thing for myself. Like I would want. I went into entrepreneurship because I love building. I love making stuff. But in the future, I'd like to maybe go into robotics. Maybe go into. Like basically the Elon Musk strategy, start building products with software and then branch out from there. He started with X.com or no, eBay.
Yes.
And then basically did PayPal, got very rich, started building rockets, sending them into space, making cars like that. That is the dream. That is like I love the breadth of possibilities that you've set up for yourself.
Oh, I think you're a little bit, overheard me.
Yeah, is the rocket ship, was that a joke?
it wasn't a joke. It was like, it was like an umbrella term for like a huge company, like something like in a wedding.
Aha, okay.
So
I
it's,
see. Yeah. Okay, my
but
mistake then.
but but if it's important, I don't know. But I want to emphasize that, like, also just learning how to play, the guitar and just spending my time with kids and having tech camera can be enough for me. I mean, after that milestone, so it can be that I can just stop, because it's really cool to do what Elon Musk does and building all these companies. He started from geo address database, something like that. Yes, then he built X.com, then that was renamed to PayPal and so on. But he's a different person. It's his life, and it's like I'm still not sure that I want to optimize for that, like it's a super hard question, it's like, do I feel that I really want it, like, or I want it because like people, that's what, if you want to.
Yeah, that is something like I really like that this conversation is getting you to think about these things as it's getting me to think as well. So I'm certain that at the time when you reach your 10K MRR goal, you would find that the next one suitable for you, because yeah, you seem to be doing fantastically, smashing your previous one. So
Thank you.
and since we are getting close to the time that we initially thought about, would you mind sharing something? Would you like to share something with the audience? And would you like to plug in some of your products or share something? I don't know your Twitter handle at the top of my head, but I will sure have it on the screen somewhere here when I edit this.
It's like it's almost like my name, 1-to-1. If people see it, I don't know it's on Riverside. What I could share.
Or do you have any advice for starting entrepreneurs or aspiring ones?
It's so easy to give advice, It's like everything is. But I think I don't have enough experience because like I have only one product. I failed some products, yes, but it's so hard to generalize my experience and to share it with people. But one thing I saw that worked for some people, for example, was capitalizing on their previous experiences. I saw, like, I really love two guys, Dima Rubanov and Matthias Neumer. It's really hard to pronounce for me. Twitter guys, you can check them. They're now building a branding solution for startups, automating branding. Like you answer questions, you answer a quiz, and they give you like all assets, colors, fonts, and so on,
Mm-hmm.
story, and so on. What I like about that is that they started their journey from building Oscar application. It's application about they started a little bit earlier, but they have an application for generating fairy tales for kids. Yes, but
Okay.
both of them don't have kids.
Interesting.
Yes, it's they have passion for this problem. This problem is probably socially acceptable. People love it. It's like it's something you can talk about in some company with friends. Oh, I'm building this. Cool application for kids, and you're so nice, and you're building so cool, and it's really beautiful. I really love that application. I actually have kids, and but I'm reading books for them. I don't use generated tales for them. Yes, but what I wanted to say that, but then, and they were struggling a lot with this application. They participated in a lot of conferences and so on. You will cut this one, yes, probably.
I don't know. We'll see.
As you wish. It seems like a long answer to a simple question.
Yeah, I think I'm going to leave the conversation as is. I'm going to cut out as little as I can, because I want to keep it authentic if I can. So
okay.
But please be yourself. Please be yourself.
Okay, so
that is greatly appreciated.
They were attending to a lot of conferences. They were trying to raise money, and they got a lot of success and that stuff. and so on, so on. Yes, but then they just decided to build some simple tool in a few days, or I don't remember, a few weeks, and they made more money probably. They don't share numbers, yes, but maybe I think they shared that on public that they made more money with this simple tool in 2 weeks than they made this is like tail generator, yes. And then I checked this up, and it was I was a beta tester, yes. And actually, Matthias, one of the founders, he was a branding expert. He knows a lot about this stuff, and he was working for that. He was making money with that. He has a lot of networking in this area, So now it seems obvious that they could have started from this application first, like capitalizing on that, and and then like trying to make money out of it, because you already have network of people who can buy from you. You already know the problem and so on, so on. Yes, but I know why it's hard. Probably it's because you quit your job. You often you are burnt out. Yes, you feel bad about it, and you don't want to think about that stuff. It's in the past. Now you have new identity. You're an indie maker. You're an entrepreneur. You're building cool stuff and so on. You don't want to think about that. That's how I did it in the past. That was I was building a Twitter tool. I was cool indie maker and so what a cringe stuff. And but then I realized, okay, I am actually a backend developer, an API developer. I know how to build this stuff, and probably I know how to communicate with developers. Yes, maybe I can do this for them. It's also a little bit, it's a bit of trap, because every developer can now think that you need to build the developer tools. Yes, okay, build developer tools, doesn't matter. But if you can build something in the niche where you have worked for some time, have been working for some time, and you understand it, pretty well, and well, you can have a huge advantage, because of that. It's like if I look back, I was writing documentation on APIs. I was designing APIs. I was doing everything I do, but as an employee almost. Like it was my core experience. Yes. So it was like it's pretty funny that it worked out. But probably you can find a lot of people who didn't have any experience in some niche and build anyway unicorns. Yes, so take any advice with a grain of salt.
Yeah, that's like your advice is strictly from you, so I'm taking it from you.
Yes.
It doesn't have to apply to anybody else. If somebody finds wisdom in your words, they would basically know it immediately. So yeah, so if I could basically, what's the word I'm looking for? If I could put it into one sentence, do what you're good at, basically. Is that
me?
Is that good? Capitalize on what you're good at.
Yes, it's good.
All right,
I
then.
love that.
Yeah. Thank you very much for this conversation, Dima. It was very nice talking to you.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Hopefully we can have this another conversation soon.
Yes,
when you reach your 10K MRR goal, I'd love to talk to you again.
Let's do it.
And to
Probably
anyone in the
6
audience. Come back again. Could you please repeat that? I didn't hear.
Sorry, I said probably in 6 months.
Yeah, I think it's going to be less than that, but yeah, I wish you all the best. So
Thank you.
to anyone at home, thank you for sticking with us, and we'll see you again soon.
Bye-bye.